Hi everyone, it's Gina from Gina K Designs and welcome to the first Foil It Friday video. Since everyone is really getting into foiling, I thought I would share some foiling videos at least once a month on a Friday here on my channel. I'm hoping to share fun, easy, and affordable foiling techniques, and the first one is using Poly-Glaze sheets with stencils. I'm using the Radiant Roses Layering Stencil Bundle and the compatible Poly-Glaze foiling sheets. The Poly-Glaze foiling sheets come in the flowers and also the greetings for this set. And you can see them here. So these are 10 sheets in each pack, and you get the greetings or the flowers in separate packs. So maybe you just want to do the greetings, that's totally fine. Or you just want to do the flowers. You can decide which ones you want. I'm going to be using the Mink laminator today, and I have my Mink set on setting 3, but you can set it to 4 if you get better results. I've had great results at setting 3, so I'm going to keep mine on setting 3. Now, if you're using a regular laminator, just make sure to give it 20 to 30 minutes to heat up first because you really want it hot. I'm using the Deco-Foil silver foil for this project. I've used gold a lot, and I think gold and silver are great ones to have in your collection for these outline types of Poly-Glaze sheets. So I'm going to use the Radiant Roses flowers and also the Radiant Roses greetings. And you can see they're a very, very light gray, and then they're coated with a special Poly-Glaze material that will grab Deco-Foil. You want to make sure you're using the right kind of foil. This technique doesn't work with hot foil, so you want to make sure you use the Deco transfer sheets. These are the foils that work with a laminator. So just check when you're making the purchase, whether you purchase on ThermoWeb or you purchase at Gina K Designs or one of the retail partners, that you're not using hot foil meant for hot foil plates, that you're using laminator type foil. And you can see my Mink is all heated up already and ready to go. All right, so you're going to take your Poly-Glaze sheet and place it in your carrier sheet. I'm using the carrier sheet that came with the Mink, but you can also use ThermoWeb carrier sheets. They look like parchment paper, but they're lined with silicone to generate more heat, and they wrinkle a lot less. So we're going to put that through the machine and let the machine grab it. And then once that's done, I'm going to take that out and I'm just going to put it aside, let it cool a little bit. You really don't have to let it cool, but some people have more luck with that, so I'm going to try it today. Now I'm going to foil the Radiant Roses words. Now the nice thing about these words is you can die cut them first before you foil them. This way, if you want to foil each greeting using a different color foil, you can do that. But I use silver so much and gold so much that I'm just going to do the whole sheet. So let's do the peel and reveal of our flowers. This never gets old. It's always beautiful. Look at that shine, and it's perfectly foiled. There's no black spots because there's no toner with Poly-Glaze, and you just get solid, beautiful shine. Same with the words. The words have come out. I let them cool for just a minute, and you can see beautiful coverage with that foil. Now I wanted to add a background that's foiled to my card project, so I'm using the Delicate Basket Poly-Glaze sheets. I've got one of those. I put it in my carrier sheet and then some silver on top of that. And this is just such a delicate, beautiful pattern for behind your card projects. You're really going to love this one. And the Poly-Glaze is perfect for these delicate patterns because anywhere that it's not perfect, you don't see it because it's white under there. Isn't that beautiful? Great coverage. Okay, so now I'm going to die cut all of the flowers. You should die cut your flowers and leaves before you stencil them, and here's why. You're going to be using the Radiant Roses stencil set for these particular Poly-Glaze sheets, and that Radiant Roses stencil set was designed as one big stenciled image. So we're going to be picking just parts of it to stencil, but it's going to be hard not to get ink in other places. So by cutting out all of these pieces first, you can concentrate just on the areas that you want to stencil and not worry if the ink seeps through other holes that are meant for the entire design. So I'm just doing a few at a time here, running it through the die cutting machine, and once I have them all cut out, I'm going to cut out the background. Now that background panel, the delicate basket, I'm cutting with the larger die from our Master Layouts 2 die set. That's the perfect size for our Poly-Glaze sheets. And you can see that leaves that beautiful silver border around the edge. So to stencil, you want to start by tacking down the flowers and leaves. And I'm going to just do a couple at a time. And I'm going to stencil these 2 roses using some medium lilac ink. So as you can see, I'm placing this on top, and you'll know it's placed properly when all of the silver disappears underneath the lines of the stencil. And then I'm going to ink that brush up with a little lilac. Just brush a little off so it's not too bright. And then I'm going to start with a heavy concentration in the center and getting lighter as I work my way out to the edges. This is such an easy way to color these flowers. Although you certainly can color them with Copic markers, colored pencils, you can use Gamsol, you can use watercolor, whatever you want. I really do love the idea of having a stencil and just having that ink blending be the coloring method. And we're going to jazz up these purple flowers with another color after I do the leaves. So once you get the ink on there, take a paper towel and just gently rub over the surface to remove any ink that's laying on the foil. The foil isn't porous, so the ink won't seep in there, it will just rest on top. So I'm done those 2, and now I'm going to tape these 2 down, and I'm going to continue to ink blend all of these flowers with this medium lilac ink. I'm doing more of a monochromatic look with my flowers, but you can mix and match colors to create purples and blues and reds. You can do all kinds of different color combinations. But for this particular card, I'm going for a more monochromatic look. And again, after I finish stenciling, I always take a paper towel and just gently rub over to remove any ink that's pooled on top. Now I'm using this bud with the stem. I decided not to use the other buds even though I cut them out. I really don't think I need that many roses, so I'll just keep those other 2 for a different project. And again, once the lines disappear under the stencil, you know you have it lined up properly, and then wipe off any excess ink. Now for the leaves, you want to make sure that you line up that little vein area with the vein area on the Poly-Glaze sheet. And that vein area on the stencil is only attached at the bottom. It's not attached at the top. So you want to be gentle when you stencil this. I stencil from the direction where it's attached to the other direction of the leaf so that I'm not going back and forth and I don't risk breaking that little piece off of the stencil. A lot of layering stencils today are more delicate because they're much more detailed. So when you have an area that isn't attached on both sides, like the vein of this leaf, just go in the direction from where it is coming off of the stencil, and you're less apt to damage it. Also, when you clean it the same way. This way you're not rubbing back and forth on that and you don't risk lifting it up. So you can see those 2 bigger leaves were done with that bigger stem at the bottom, and these 2 smaller leaves are done with this little smaller branch at the top. And I love the ability to do the entire design as a stencil onto a piece of cardstock where you've got all of those leaves and stems and the little extras there on the side, or to be able to cut these out with the coordinating dies, whether you're going to stamp or whether you're going to stencil, whether you're going to use Poly-Glaze. There's just so many ways to use this entire bundle. But adding this little bit of foil and sparkle and shine really steps up the whole stencil. Okay, so now all my leaves and all my flowers are done, and now I'm going to go back onto the flowers and add a second color. I'm using some sea glass ink, and I'm just going to use the sea glass in a couple little areas on each of the flowers. I'm not going over the entire thing, so I want these flowers to kind of range from purple to blue. And sea glass and medium lilac, when you blend these colors together, it turns it more into a powder blue. It's just a beautiful combination. So you get a little bit of sea glass, you get a little bit of powder blue, and then you get that gorgeous soft lilac color. And you can see I did just a little bit on each one of these flowers to tie them all in together. So now that all of my pieces are done, it's time to assemble the card. And I definitely wanted to pull in more of that powder blue. So I started by mounting that delicate basket pattern onto a black cardstock panel, and then mounted that onto a powder blue card base. I created a decorative strip for the side using powder blue and black, and I'm just adhering that right onto the side, and that's going to ground all of my flowers. So it's a place to put all my flowers and let them just trellis down the card. So I like to arrange my flowers first before I adhere them to make sure that I like the layout. And if you forget what you did, you can always just take one at a time off and then tape it back into place, or you can take a picture with your smartphone and have it right next to you so you can remember the layout. Or you can use something like press and seal and just put some press and seal over the whole thing, and the flowers will stay where they were, and you can tape everything on the back all at once. But I kind of enjoy the little bit of busyness that this takes. It's relaxing, and I like to lay it out, and then I like to go back and tape things into place piece by piece. So you can see I've used the bigger leaves on the one side and smaller leaves on the other side, and I don't think I'll be missing that leaf that I dropped somewhere. I dropped one of those bigger leaves earlier, but I don't think I need them all. I think that's a perfect layout. So now that everything is taped down, I'm going to add my greeting panel just right down here. I'm going to do that with a little piece of foam tape, and I'm using the Thermoweb foam tape. I cut a tiny little strip of it, and I'm adhering it to the back, and then I'm going to just pop that right up onto my card. Let me peel the liner off. Just wanted to check the height and make sure it looked good, and then popping that into place. So here is my finished card, and look at all of that beautiful shine. This was really such a fun card to make. Well, I'd love to know what you think of this new Foil It Friday series, and if you'd like to see me continue it. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, you'll never miss another Gina K Designs video. Well, I hope you enjoyed this technique, and I hope you'll give it a try. Stay tuned to my channel for more 5-minute card videos and more Stampin' Chat live videos too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.